Hey, I'm Logan Alexander, and welcome to the Diarrhea Diaries, a guide for those on the go who have to go. I have IBS, which in the medical community stands for irritable bowel syndrome. However, for me, it stands more for I'll be shitting. I know pooping pretty well, better than I'd like to, but as well as you need to. My poop pain is your poop gain. Hoy, este episodio es sobre los baños de Venezuela. That is, this episode is about the toilets and restrooms of Venezuela. Well, not just anywhere, though I did have a time when I had to poop on the side of the road. I recently studied abroad in Venezuela, Merida, Venezuela, exactly, for 4 months, so I experienced pooping in a whole different way. The country has been experiencing an economic crisis recently, and this has led to toilet paper shortages. General public restrooms are sparse. To make matters worse, it takes time for one's gut to adjust to the cuisine. Many foreigners and gringos end up with parasites, such as myself. I slept on the toilet for basically 2 days. Obviously, for someone with my condition, this led to many near misses, and I did many skid mark checks. Surprisingly, I never pooped my pants. And this episode is a guide intended for someone traveling just abroad, but particularly here, who also wants to have that achievement. Specifically, this guide is for study abroad students going to Merida, Venezuela, who have concerns about their crap. So educators, advisors, feel free to use this for that purpose. Now I'm going to combine a few categories for this episode and review the city as a whole, as I can't possibly rate all bathrooms without doing a whole doo-doo documentary. First one, let's see. Location privacy. Like I said, restrooms available to the general public are not common in Venezuela, though Merida in general has a higher standard of living than the majority of Venezuela. So you're more likely to find decent accommodations here than anywhere else in the country. Oddly enough, I recommend using the bathrooms of American fast food chains. It's basically the opposite trend here. Fast food is a hip and a luxury. Jobs are a luxury here, unfortunately, too. So the workers take their job a bit more seriously. The result is restrooms are comparatively clean here to the other places, and they tend to have toilet paper. Though it is still like shitty sandpaper, pun intended. You also find soap here, which is also in drastic short supply. If possible, plan your poops here. These places get B's. If you cannot find Mickey D's or Burger King, look for a nice restaurant like Ches Pepino, an Italian restaurant, or Delicias Mexicanas. Though you may be expected to buy something in order to use the restroom, but I think that's a fair trade-off for not shitting your pants, especially since the food's delicious. Your homestay would probably have a nice bathroom because they hook you up with people that are, middle class essentially. But the family may not have toilet paper because they have to stand in line for 4 hours, sometimes a whole day, just to get that because the supply is rationed. And there depends on where not every place has toilet paper available for sale at any given day. Everywhere else, bring your own toilet paper or baby wipes and hand sanitizer. These bathrooms are D's and F's. Appearance. Venezuela often demonstrates vanity on a level on par with the U.S., but many bathrooms still look like dumpsters. Unless you're at a nice restaurant, someone who's home, who has money, a hotel, it is possible you may poop in an uncomfortable setting. Just close your eyes and squeeze them out. Cleanliness. Really depends on where you are. Some places are as pleasant as I've ever seen, others are truly despicable. As noted, there's simply not enough jobs around for people, Venezuela, through no fault of their own, and this sometimes means there's no janitors for a particular place. The restrooms in general will smell worse than the average American restroom because you are supposed to put toilet paper in the trash rather than the toilet to be flushed. More on that in the plumbing section of this episode. My most important message for this section is do not drink the water unless you are certain it is clean. This means ice, especially ice, as well as I am fairly certain that is how I got sick. I thought the ice was industrial quality, but it was just somebody's freezer and it was made with dirty water. Now for the plumbing. Venezuelan toilets have far less strength than American toilets. Water overall is in short supply, and it's a precious resource, and therefore it is customary to throw toilet paper in the trash can rather than directly into the toilet. If you take a particularly big poop, you might find yourself plunging the bowl. So maybe hold off on the second lope if the first one is particularly big. Hot water is limited and hard to come by, as it is powered by natural gas, which is rationed by the government. You will find some hot water in nicer homes or hotels, but it's basically non-existent in public restrooms. Now for toilet paper, this is the kicker. Coincidentally, the toilet paper here is of the same quality as most American public restrooms, but this is often a non-factor because there is no toilet paper. What you really need to do is bring your own from the States. I learned that there are many compact rolls of toilet paper without the cardboard inside. There's also biodegradable toilet paper. Buy these on Amazon. But overall, you need to find a different way to wipe. And this leads me to this episode's emergency shit tip. Shit tip number 3. Baby fucking wipes. Game changer. Enough said. Why it took me through most of my adult life to use these more often is beyond me. Yeah, they can clog toilets, but if you're throwing them in the trash can or you get the flushable ones, you can't go wrong. I bought them in bulk before I left, both the home size and pocket size packets for public toilets. I recommend the sensitive skin ones because without alcohol, because my anus was stinging for quite some time when I used the regulars. Environmentalists are probably pooping their own pants over this, but I found you're actually able to use less wipes, as each one is able to wipe away more residue, and with less discomfort and greater ease, and it cleans the cheeks well than traditional TP. It's because they're pre-moistened, and you don't have to run the TP under the faucet like I've told you about before, and you can potentially avoid the whole asinine scenario. And if you'll notice, I emphasize that I spelled the beginning with 2 S's in the ass part to make a bun pun. And with that, I'll close the lid on this episode and wash up for another. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about pooping in Venezuela, or just about my experience in general, feel free to email me or comment beneath the videos, or go to the doctor. Should not have to tell you the last part. Remember, your bowel may be a foul, but your restrooms don't have to be. You don't have to poop in silence. The most hope you would. This is Logan Alexander with the Diarrhea Diaries, wishing you peaceful poops and freer farts.